Good day, everyone, and welcome to our virtual classroom. For today's discussion, we're going to discuss all about how to clean and maintain kitchen tools, equipment, and premises. By the way, I am your subject teacher for this school year, and I am Ma'am Jeannie G. Dashon. Cleanliness plays a vital role, especially in the kitchen where foods are prepared and cooked. In order to avoid contamination, you must practice sanitation, especially on the equipment and utensils to be used. Cleanliness is very vital in every kitchen where food is cared for, prepared, cooked, and served. In order to avoid food contamination, kitchen tools, equipment, and other utensils used in the preparation of foods, as well as its premises, should be cleaned, sanitized, and stored properly after each use. For our lesson objectives, at the end of the lesson, you are expected to 1. Identify the different kitchen tools and equipment to be cleaned and sanitized. 2. Explain the general guidelines in cleaning kitchen tools, equipment, and premises. 3. Identify the different kitchen surfaces to be cleaned. 4. Name the different cleaning equipment, supplies, materials, and cleaning chemicals and specific use. And then for last, cite the general rules on using cleaning equipment. First things first, we need to follow 3 simple rules that will help us through the entire school year. For number 1 is to pay attention. Number 2 is to give respect. And for the last is you need to comply all the needed requirements. Now, speaking of requirements, at the end of our discussion, you are required to answer activities in our module. Same module are uploaded in our Schoology. So if you have question, you may message me in our Schoology. Let us begin our lesson for answering this activity. And this is activity number 1, name me. You're going to label the different kitchen utensils and group them according to their category. Write your answer on the space provided. And so, after naming the different kitchen tools, utensils, and equipment, the next thing you have to do is to categorize them. And these are the kitchen tools classification or categories. We have baking tools and equipment, measuring tools and equipment, auxiliary tools and equipment. Auxiliary meaning to say these are supplemental or additional tools that we can use in food preparation, mixing tools and equipment, cutting tools and equipment, as well as cooking tools and equipment. I'm going to give you time to answer this activity before we proceed in our discussion. Let us define first the word kitchen utensils and equipment. A kitchen utensil, it is a small handheld tool used for food preparation, where kitchen equipment usually refer to the larger items in the kitchen that handle the bulk of the prep or preparation and cooking processes. Common kitchen tasks include cutting food items to size, heating food on an oven fire or on a stove, baking, grinding, mixing, blending, and measuring. Different utensils are made for each task. So for this day, we're going to discuss the categories or classifications of kitchen utensils and equipment. And they are mixing, measuring, cooking, baking, cutting, and even we also have auxiliary tools and equipment. And for our first classification, we have mixing tools. And under mixing tools, we have wooden spoons. They are used for stirring and mixing. Wooden spoons are generally preferred for cooking because of their versatility. Some cooks prefer to use wooden spoons when preparing risotto because they do not transfer heat as much as metal spoons. Unlike metal spoons, they can also be safely used without scratching non-stick pans. So that is wooden spoons for mixing tools. Another mixing tools are slatted spoons. They are used to remove pieces of food from liquid. It is similar in function to a sieve. However, a ladle-sized slatted spoon is most typically used to retrieve items from a cooking liquid while preserving the liquid in the pot. While table-sized slatted spoons are often used to serve foods prepared or packaged in juices such as canned fruit and vegetable. Next mixing tools are heavy metal spoons. So the large metal spoons for stovetop cooking can be helped and they are used to stir thick mixtures. Next mixing tools is what we call a rotary beater or an egg beater. It is used to beat, blend, and incorporate air into food. Rotary beater, it is a handheld kitchen utensil with rotating blades used for beating, whipping, or mixing. An example of an egg beater is what someone would use to whip heavy cream into whipped cream. And for our last mixing tools is what we call whisk. It is a mixing tool made of loops of wire attached to a handle to incorporate air into food. A whisk, it is a cooking utensil which can be used to blend ingredients smooth and to incorporate air into a mixture in a process known as whisking or what we call whipping. Most whisks consist of a long, narrow handle with a series of wire loops joined at the end. So those are the different tools or utensils under mixing. Another classification are cutting tools. And under cutting tools, we have kitchen shears. They are used to cut herbs and trim vegetables. They are also used to cut meat, dough, cookies, and even pizza. Kitchen shears are a kitchen tools specifically made for food preparation that is more versatile than a standard pair of cutting scissors. This utensil is made with a plastic or rubber-coated handle which are often textured, allowing for ease of cutting and gripping. Another tool under cutting tools are poultry shears. They are used to cut through fowl and fish bones. The sharp stainless steel blades are ideal for trimming and cutting poultry, and the blades are curved and tapered to access hard-to-reach places. The poultry shears also feature a blade notch that securely hold bones while cutting, and that is poultry shears under cutting tools. Another cutting tools is what we call cutting boards or chopping board. They are used when cutting and chopping foods to protect table and countertop. A cutting board or chopping board, it is a durable board on which to place material for cutting. This is commonly used in preparing food. our last cutting tools, shredder or grater. A four-sided metal tool used to shred and grate food such as cheese and cabbage. A grater, also known as shredder, it is a kitchen utensil used to grate foods into fine pieces. It is a kitchen tool which has a rough surface that used for cutting food into very small pieces. Another classification is what we call baking tools. Under baking tools, we have sifter. They are used to blend dry ingredients and remove lumps. A sifter is used to separate and break up lumps in dry ingredients such as flour, as well as to aerate and combine them. They are made from stainless steel or plastic. The sifter is used to add air to the dry ingredient in order to make it lighter and more uniform in texture, resulting in improving the baking or food preparation results. Another baking tools is pastry blender. It is made of several thin, curved pieces of metal attached to a handle, and they are used to blend shortening, butter, and cheese. A pastry blender, it is a cooking utensil used to mix a hard solid fat into flour in order to make pastries. The tool is usually made of narrow metal strips or wires attached to a handle, and it is used by pressing down on the items to be mixed, known as cutting in. The pastry blender, it is essential because it both keeps your hands clean and requires a minimum of clean-up time. That is pastry blender under baking tools. Another baking tools are pastry brushes or pastry brush. They are used to brush butter or sauces on foods. A pastry brush, also known as basting brush, it is a cooking utensil used to spread butter, oil, or glaze on food. Traditionally, pastry brushes are made with natural bristles or plastic or nylon fiber similar to a paintbrush, while modern kitchen brushes may have silicone bristles. Another baking tools is pastry cloth. It keeps the dough from sticking to the counter. It is a large cloth made from a heavier weight cotton material that is used for rolling out pastry dough with a rolling pin. Thus, a pastry cloth works well to roll out all types of doughs for a variety of purposes. And for our last baking tools, our rolling pin. It is used when rolling out dough or pastry. They are long cylinders used to press out dough evenly and smoothly. They are primarily used for rolling out dough for pastries such as pies and cookies. But they can also be used for rolling out bread dough for items such as cinnamon rolls and pizza dough, and even roll out pasta dough. Another classification or categories of kitchen tools are cooking tools. And under cooking tools, we have ranges. These are kitchen stove, often called simply a stove or a cooker. It is a kitchen appliance designed for the purpose of cooking food. It is an apparatus for cooking or heating that operates by burning fuel or using electricity. Kitchen stoves rely on the application of direct heat for the cooking process and may also contain an oven used for baking. Under cooking tools is we have oven. They are used for cooking, baking, roasting, and browning of food. An oven, it is a thermally insulated chamber used for the heating, baking, or drying of a substance and most commonly used for cooking. Another cooking tools is a broiler pan. It is an open rectangular metal container, often with a frame of metal bars inside on which food is cooked under a very hot surface in a stove. It is also known as a broiler roaster, oven roaster or oven broiling pan. This piece of cookware is used to broil foods in the oven such as steaks, roast or various cuts of meats, poultry, and vegetables. Another example of cooking tools, griddles. They are flat plates made of iron, stainless steel, or aluminum which transfer heat to the food. Griddles are prone to heat loss when the plate is partially unused. A griddle has a smooth and flat surface, perfect for cooking breakfast foods like bacon, sausages, pancakes, home fries, French toast, and eggs. You can also use a griddle to make grilled cheese sandwiches, quesadillas, and anything else that you would usually cook on a frying pan. Another example of cooking tools, fryers. A deep fryer is a kitchen appliance used for deep frying. They are generally have a basket to lower the food into the oil tank and raise it when the food has finished cooking. Fryer baskets purchased separately and are not standardized, and when selected, it needs to fit into the deep fryer. And for our last cooking tools, we have steamer. A food steamer or steam cooker, it is a small kitchen appliance used to cook or prepare various foods with steam heat by means of holding the food in a closed vessel, reducing steam escape. The steamer is made to position foods above, not in, water that is boiling or hot enough to produce steam to cook foods with a moist, hot air. It is a container with holes in the bottom that is put over boiling water in order to cook food in steam, or a machine that cooks food with steam. And that is steamer for cooking tools. Let's have another category, and that is measuring tools. Under measuring tools, we have measuring cups. These are a basic set for measuring dry ingredients, which include 1/4, 1/3, 1/2, and 1 cup measures. These are used in measuring liquid or dry ingredients like flour, sugar, milk, or water, and a cup that has markings for measuring ingredients when cooking. Another measuring tools is measuring glass. It is used to measure liquid ingredients. It is a graduated glass container used to measure quantities of liquid. A measuring cup or a measuring jug, it is a kitchen utensil used primarily to measure the volume of liquid. Aside for measuring cup, measuring glass, we have also measuring spoons. Will typically come in 1/8, 1/4, 1/2, and 1 teaspoon and 1 tablespoon. A measuring spoon, it is a spoon used to measure an amount of an ingredient, either liquid or dry, when cooking. Measuring spoon may be made of plastic, metal, and other materials. They are available in many sizes, including the teaspoon and tablespoon. Another measuring tools, digital scale. It measures grams, kilograms, ounces, or pounds is the best option. A kitchen device used to measure the weight of ingredients and other food. Kitchen scales are available in balance or spring models. A balanced scale will give a more accurate reading than a spring scale. Using a scale will result in a more accurate measurement of the ingredient than by measuring it by volume. Last measuring tools, oven thermometer. It is the only way to know how accurate your oven. It is a utensil used to check the temperature of the oven so the reading can be compared to the temperature set on the oven dial. With the use of an oven thermometer, temperatures can be checked to ensure it remains consistent throughout the baking or roasting time. So that is oven thermometer for our last measuring tools. And we're now on our last classification of kitchen tools. And that is auxiliary cooking tools. Again, when we talk about auxiliary, meaning to say these are additional or supplemental tools that we can have in food preparation. Under auxiliary, we have tongs, and they are helpful for turning meats and fried foods. Tongs are the tool that you use to grip something and lift it. They are usually jointed near the handle with two grippers at the other end, so that you can have one-handedly grasp objects. You might use tongs to move something hot, like food or burning logs, or to serve food such as salad, sugar cubes, or noodles. Another auxiliary tools are kitchen forks. They are used them when transferring heavy meats and poultry. In cutlery or kitchenware, a fork it is a utensil now usually made of metal, whose long handle terminates in a head that branches into several narrow and often slightly curved tines with which one can spear the foods, either to hold them, to cut with a knife, or to lift them to the mouth. Another auxiliary tools are ladles. They are used for dipping and pouring, serve punches, soups, sauces, gravies, and salad. A ladle, it is a type of spoon used for soup, stew, or other foods. Although designs vary, a typical ladle has a long handle terminating in a deep bowl, frequently with the bowl oriented at an angle to the handle to facilitate lifting liquid out of a pot or other vessel and conveying it to a bowl. Another auxiliary tool is baster. It uses suction to collect juices from meat and poultry for basting, covering food with liquid. A baster, it is handy for returning some of the meat or poultry juices from the pan back to the food. Basting brushes can be used for the same purpose, but they are also convenient for battering the tops of breads and baked goods after they come out of the oven. Another auxiliary cooking tools are colanders. Colanders are what we call vegetable strainer. They are perforated bowls used to drain fruits, vegetables, and pasta. A colander, it is a kitchen utensil used to strain foods such as pasta or rice or to rinse vegetables. The perforated nature of the colander allows liquid to drain through while retaining the solids inside. It is sometimes also called a pasta strainer or a kitchen sieve. We also have strainers for auxiliary tools. Strainers are devices that have holes punched in it or made of cross wires for removing liquid. It is a kitchen device that is most used to strain liquids away from other ingredients but also to occasionally sift fine ingredients away from larger ingredients. The strainer may be formed as a spoon-shaped utensil or a basket-shaped strainer from various materials such as metal, nylon, or even cloth. And to complete our auxiliary tools, we have can opener. It removes taps of cans. A can opener, also known as a tin opener, it is a device used to open cans. Simple can openers like those found in pocket knives are operated by walking the device around the edge of the can while digging into the lid. The lid will have very jagged edges after removal. After knowing the different classifications or categories of kitchen tools, we will now be moving on the types of chemicals used in cleaning and sanitizing kitchen tools and equipment. In the food industry, chemicals are routinely used to sanitize and disinfect product contact surfaces. These chemicals provide a necessary and required step to ensure that the foods produced and consumed are as free as possible from microorganisms that can cause foodborne illness. Prevention is the name of the game. What are these chemicals and how do they function and how are they used? So let us now proceed for the different cleaning compounds. But before that, let us define first the word cleaning. It is the process of removing food and other types of soil from a surface, such as a dish, glass, or cutting board. Cleaning is done with a cleaning agent that removes food, soil, or other substances. The right cleaning agent must be selected because not all cleaning agents can be used on food contact surfaces. What do we mean by the word food contact surfaces? It is the surface of equipment or utensil that food normally comes into contact. For our first cleaning compound is what we call detergents. These are cleaning agents, solvents, or any substance used to wash tablewares, surfaces, and equipment. Detergents are the most common type of cleaning agent and are used in home and commercial kitchens. They work by breaking up dirt or soil, making it easy to wash it away. A detergent is a product that removes dirt and dissolves grease. It is a surfactant that can help you remove dirt and grease from dirty dishes and preparation areas. Using detergent should be one of the first and more steps in cleaning. Examples of detergents are soap, soap powders, cleaners, acids, and abrasives. Another cleaning compound are solvent cleaners. Ovens and grills are examples of areas that need frequent degreasing. These products are alkaline-based and are formulated to dissolve grease. Solvent cleaners are commonly referred to as degreasers, used on surfaces where grease has burned on. The greasers are available in various forms. They can be bought as sprays, wipes, or solutions that you can use directly on the surface. Some degreasers not only cleanse but also fulfill the purpose of disinfecting and deodorizing. The greasers are designed to retain the color and finish of the surface they are applied on. And for our third cleaning compound is acid cleaners. It's used periodically in removing mineral deposits and other soils that detergents cannot eliminate, such as scale in dishwashing machines and steam tables, lime buildup on dishwashing machines, and rust on shelving. These products vary depending on the specific purpose of the product. Mildly acidic cleaners are used to dissolve hard water deposits, remove mild rust stains, and eliminate soap film from around the sink and on shower doors. They are useful in removing tarnish from brass and copper. Mildly acidic cleaning products include vinegar, acetic acid, and lemon juice, which is citric acid. Examples of acid cleaners are phosphoric acid and nitric acid. That is acid cleaners. And for our last cleaning compound are abrasives. They are generally used to remove heavy accumulations of soil that are difficult to remove with detergents, solvents, and acids. These products must be carefully used to avoid damage to the surface being cleaned. Abrasive cleaners are designed to remove relatively heavy amounts of soil, often found in small areas. They come in powder and liquid form and contain a kind of built-in elbow grease, which helps cut down on the hard rubbing required to remove soil. Scoring pads are also included in this category. So those are the 4 cleaning compounds that we can use in cleaning and sanitizing our kitchen tools, equipment, as well as kitchen premises. After knowing the different cleaning compounds, let's now move on to the steps in washing the dishes. Dishwashing or washing the dishes, doing the dishes, it is the process of cleaning cooking utensils, dishes, cutlery, and other items to prevent foodborne illness. Rubber gloves can be worn during dishwashing to protect the hands from detergent and allow the use of hotter water. So let's have the different steps in washing the dishes. For the first step is prepare. Wear rubber gloves if you have dry hands or other skin problem. If you are wearing long sleeves, roll them up or put them under the gloves. Wear aprons too. For our PPE or what we call personal protective equipment in cookery, these are gloves, hairnet, and as well as apron. Wearing this PPE, it prevents our shirt or our dress from getting into dirt. And for our second step is to scrape all the large pieces of food on the dishes and place it in a compost bin or garbage can. The washer must scrape out all the excess food from platters, plates, and dishes. Scraping is best for big clumps of food. Larger clumps of food tend to clog the sink. Third steps in washing the dishes. Stack the dishes in the proper order, namely glassware, silverware, chinaware, and utensils. Stack them to the right of the sink so that work progresses from right to left. The items that are lightly soiled usually include glasses, cups, and flatware. Washing these items first keeps your water pressure and ready to tackle bigger jobs. Place as many of these items as fit under the soapy water in the sink. This will allow them a bit of soaking time before you wash them. And for our fourth step is to fill the sink with water and add a considerable amount of detergent. The hotter the water, the better its sanitizing and grease-cutting properties, but use tolerable heat. So not to scald yourself. Use rubber gloves. Hot water dries much more quickly on dishes than warm or cold water. And as an added benefit, dishes dry spot and streak-free with hot water. And for our fifth step, wash the lightest soiled items first. Start with glasses, cups, and flatware. Soak each piece individually and rinse in hot water. The items that are lightly soiled usually include glasses, cups, and flatware. Just like what I've said, washing these items first keeps your water pressure and ready to tackle bigger jobs. So place as many of these items as fit under the soapy water in the sink. Next step is to wash plates, bowls, and serving dishes. Remember to scrape these items before washing. Soak each piece gently and individually and rinse in hot water. Remember to keep an eye when you should change the dish washing water. For our seventh step is to wash the pots and pans last. Soak them first. Wash the pans thoroughly and don't forget to clean the bottoms. If anything was burnt or overcooked to pots or casserole dishes, put a little extra soap and water in it and let it stand while you wash the other dishes. Take note that any oil residue left will lead to burnt food during the next cooking session. Our eighth step is to lay your dishes out on a rack to air dry or wipe them clean with a towel. At home, it's always better to air dry your dishes than to use a dish towel. Remember that because a dish towel can harbor all sorts of bacteria, you wipe your hands with it, you use it to dry the counter, and then you use it to dry the dishes. So again, it is better to air dry your dishes. Our ninth step in washing the dishes is to run a hand over the dish to ensure that they are thoroughly clean. There should be no visible matter and no greasy feel. If there are still some grease remaining, consider rewashing the item. And for our 10th step is to rinse out brush, sponge, and allow to dry. Sterilize your equipment, often using boiling water with bleach. When a sponge or brush starts to smell unpleasant, throw it away. And for our final steps in washing the dishes is to wipe down the sink and your tools. Wipe down the sink, dish drainer, and dishpan. Rags, dishcloths, and sponges can be a perfect home for bacteria. Any rags, dishcloths, or sponges need to be left out to air dry or thrown into the washing machine. Remember to replace sponges and rags frequently. And that's it, the steps in washing the dishes. I hope you remember the steps in washing the dishes because as part of your activity, you're going to rearrange the sequence in order to reveal the steps in washing the dishes. Let us move on to the methods of cleaning and sanitizing kitchen tools and equipment. For step 1 is the preparation. Remove loose dirt and food particles. Rinse with warm, potable water. Part of the preparation again includes wearing our PPE or the personal protective equipment. Step 2 is the cleaning. Wash with hot water and detergent. Rinse with clean, potable water. And then for our step 3 is the sanitizing. Treat with very hot, clean, and potable water for at least 2 minutes. Apply sanitizer as directed on the label. The benefits of using hot water when cleaning your dishes and utensils at home are faster dishwashing, lifts away grease, reduces drying time, and sanitizes your dishes. There are very good reasons why you must wash the dishes first and air dry them. Washing the dishes removes food and oils that would reduce the effectiveness of the bleach solution. And for the final step is the air drying. Leave benches, counters, and equipment. The most hygienic way to dry equipment is in a draining rack. Air drying prevents cross-contamination from drying multiple dishes with the same towel and towels that are common hosts for bacteria. Let us now proceed for some helpful tips. Wash glassware first before greasy pots and pans. Rubber gloves will protect hands and manicures and allow you to use hotter water for washing and or rinsing. Dishes may be hand-dried with a clean cloth and try adding a tablespoon of baking soda to soapy water to soften hands while cutting grease. Baking soda also has the power to freshen and clean seemingly countless spots in your kitchen. It's a super effective but gentle abrasive, and it is a great natural deodorizer, so it is helpful in all sorts of cleaning emergencies. Another sets of helpful tips. Never dump sharp knives into soapy dish water where they cannot be seen. Laundry detergents or automatic dishwater detergents should not be used for hand washing dishes. And keep dishwashing liquid out of the reach of children. For these 3 helpful tips, these are some safety precautions we can do to prevent accidents. And for our last sets of helpful tips, dishes can be washed easily if you keep them under the water while scrubbing them for particles to leaf away. Bring the dish out of the water to check for any missed spots. Stocking a few dishes in the sink at a time allows dishes a few minutes of soaking time while you wash another dish. Try drying pots and pans with a paper towel to reduce residue from the pan, which causes staining the dish cloth. And don't soak aluminum while dishwashing, for it may cause darkening. Dishwashing silverware can be tricky, so you may use a lint-free cloth for drying silverware. So those are some helpful tips in order to maintain the cleanliness and sanitation of our kitchen tools and even kitchen premises. And now giving you the different tools and equipment to be sanitized. We have eating utensils that includes plates, spoons, fork, glasses, cups, and saucers. For cooking utensils, we have pots, pans, kettle, and casserole. For cutting tools, that includes cutlery and knives. Preparing tools like chopping board or containers. Exhaust fan, garbage bins, sinks and drains, as well as refrigerator. So these are the different tools and equipment that needs to be sanitized. We already know the different cleaning compounds that can be used in cleaning and sanitizing our kitchen tools and equipment. Now, let's move on for the different methods of cleaning equipment. First method is foam. You use this to increase the contact time of the chemical solutions to improve cleaning with less mechanical force. The application of foam is part of an overall cleaning process which includes rinsing and sanitizing. All of these functions being operated by a pressure washer system. Each operation requires a separate cleaning lens with attachments suitable for the purpose to ensure the correct application. Where there is a regular and specific requirement, then it is better and more efficient to have all of these operations contained within a single unit. As part of the cleaning process, an important ingredient is the application of chemical detergent to clean the surface and for the detergent to do its work. The longer it stays in contact with the surface, the more effective will be the removal of deposits and buildup. Another methods of cleaning equipment is the high pressure or using the high pressure. It used to increase mechanical force, aiding in soil removal. In high pressure cleaning, chemical detergents are often used along with an increased temperature to make soil removal more effective. A basic high-pressure cleaner consists of a pump driven either by an electric motor or engine. The water can then be heated either by fuel, oil, gas, or electric. The pump provides the volume of water, while the nozzle at the end of the lance creates a high water pressure, rather like pinching the end of a garden hose. Another method is clean in place or CIP. It is utilized to clean the interior of surfaces, tanks, and pipelines of liquid process equipment. A chemical solution is circulated through a circuit of tanks and or lines then returned to a central reservoir, allowing the chemical solution to be reused. Time, temperature, and mechanical force are manipulated to achieve maximum cleaning. Cleaning in place refers to all those mechanical and chemical systems that are necessary to prepare equipment for food processing, either after a processing run that has produced normal or when switching a processing line from one recipe to another. Cleaning in place means that cleaning takes place without dismantling the system. Why is CIP important? CIP is an important component in guaranteeing food safety in food processing plants. Successful cleaning between production runs avoids potential contamination and products that don't meet quality standards. And another methods of cleaning equipment is what we call the COP or clean out of place. It is used to clean the parts of filters and parts of other equipment. This requires disassembly for proper cleaning. Parts removed for cleaning are placed in a circulation tank and cleaned using a heated chemical solution and agitation. The COP process can be used for equipment and components that require at least some disassembly to be cleaned. COP is generally beneficial for cleaning individual parts like hoses, fittings, nozzles, trays, knives, clamps, and even conveyor belts that are taken off the machinery to be cleaned, removing them from the CIP cleaning cycle. And for our last methods of cleaning equipment is mechanical. It normally involves the use of brush, either by hand or machine, such as a floor scrubber. Mechanical cleaning uses friction for food soil removal. The removal of impurities by mechanical units as compared with hand picking. Broadly, mechanical cleaning may be subdivided into dry cleaning and wet cleaning. The types of mechanical equipment are box sweeper, vacuum cleaner, polishing machine, and even vapor cleaning machine. So those are the different methods of cleaning equipment. Let us now proceed to the storage of wash utensils. 1. They should be stored in a clean, dry place, adequately protected against vermin and other sources of contamination. 2. Cups, bowls, and glasses shall be inverted for storage. 3. When not stored in closed cupboards or lockers, utensils and containers shall be covered or inverted whenever practicable. Racks, trays, and shelves shall be made of materials that are corrosive resistant, non-toxic, smooth, durable, and resistant to chipping. 4. Drawers shall be made of the same materials and kept clean. Full-line drawers are not acceptable, but the use of a clean and removable towels for lining drawers is acceptable. Cleaned and sanitized food equipment and utensils must be handled in a way that protects them from contamination. Spoons, knives, and forks must be touched only by their handles. Cups, glasses, bowls, plates, and similar items must be handled without contact with inside surfaces or surfaces that contact the user's mouth. Cleaned and sanitized food equipment and utensils must be stored above the floor in a clean, dry location in a way that protects them from being contaminated by splash, dust, and contaminants. The food contact surfaces of fixed equipment must be protected from contamination. Food equipment and utensils may not be placed under exposed water lines except for automatic fire protection sprinkler heads. And utensils must be air-dried before being stored or must be stored in self-draining position. And now let us discuss the different methods of sanitation. First, let us define what is sanitation. It is a process of cleaning certain area or surface in such a manner so that it is made bacteria-free and elementally clean all types of microbes and viruses that can infect the human body and cause different kinds of diseases. That is to say that sanitation is a process of removing harmful microbes with the help of chemicals that doesn't harm the human body. The chemicals are used in measured quantities and diluted with water or other diluting agents. Sanitation can also be done with the help of heat and some other methods, but that cannot be applied in every context. First method is thermal sanitizing. It involves the use of hot water or steam. There are three methods of using heat to sanitize surfaces. And these are steam, hot water, and hot air. Hot water is the most common method used in restaurants. If hot water is used in the third component of a three-compartment sink, it must be at least 171 degrees Fahrenheit. If a high-temperature washing machine is used to sanitize clean dishes, the final sanitizing rinse must be at least 180 degrees Fahrenheit. For stationary rack, single temperature machines, it must be at least 165 degrees Fahrenheit, and cleaned items must be exposed to these temperatures for at least 30 seconds. And another methods by means of using chemicals. Approved chemical sanitizers are chlorine, iodine, and quaternary ammonium. Different factors influence the effectiveness of chemical sanitizers. The three factors that must be considered are concentration. The presence of too little sanitizer will result in an adequate reduction of harmful microorganisms. Too much can be toxic. And for temperature, generally chemical sanitizers work best in water that is between 55 degrees Fahrenheit and 120 degrees Fahrenheit. And then for the last is contact time. In order for the sanitizer to kill harmful microorganisms, the cleaned item must be in contact with the sanitizer, either heat or approved chemical for the recommended length of time. And these are the characteristics of ideal chemical sanitizer. When we talk about ideal chemical sanitizer, approved for food contact surface application, have a wide range or scope of activity, it destroys microorganisms rapidly, be stable under all types of conditions, tolerate a broad range of environmental conditions, readily solubilize and possess some detergency, low in toxicity and corrosivity, and inexpensive. To top it all, ideal chemical sanitizer must be highly effective and relatively inexpensive, and, much importantly, it is low in toxicity. So let's end our discussion with this. Don't you know that heat sanitizing has several advantages over chemical sanitizing agents? It is because it can penetrate small cracks and gaps. It is non-corrosive to metal surfaces. It is non-selective to microbial groups. It leaves no residues, and it is easily measurable. So those are the advantages of heat sanitizing over chemical sanitizing agents. Okay, so now that we're done with our discussion, you are now ready to answer our activities. Just like what I've said, in every discussion, you are required to answer different activities in our module or in our Schoology. So we're done answering the activity 1, in which you label or you name the different kitchen tools, equipment, and you even categorize them. For activity 2, the type is guess what, in which you're going to identify the chemicals and write your answer on the space provided. For activity 3, word hunt. Find and circle all of the given words that are hidden in the grid. The words may be hidden in any direction. For our activity 6, where do I belong? List down 5 tools and equipment according to their classification. And activity 7, test yourself. you're going to write the number that best represents how you feel in each of the given competencies. 3, a lot, 2, a little, and 1, not much. And for our activity 8, how to wash the dishes. Suppose you are ready to start washing the dishes, you're going to rearrange the sequence or the procedures on how you're going to wash the dishes. You're going to number it from 1 to 10. And for our deepen activities, is to you're going to watch a video presentation on how to sanitize kitchen tools and equipment and make a narrative report about what you have learned in the presentation. So you will be guided by the following set of questions. Then for activity 10, tell me a story. In 2 or 3 paragraphs, write in your test notebook what you will do to accomplish the task successfully. So the situation is your mother assigned you to clean all the tools and kitchen utensils used in the preparation of food of your family for lunch. Still part of deepen activities, activity 11, what I have learned is you're going to check the appropriate column. So the criteria are the learning objectives that we discussed at the start of our discussion. So these are the criteria. I can identify different kitchen tools and equipment to be cleaned and sanitized. I can identify the different kitchen surfaces to be cleaned. I can explain the general guidelines in cleaning kitchen tools, equipment, and premises. I can name the different cleaning equipment, supplies, materials, and cleaning chemicals and specific use. And I can cite the general rules on using the cleaning equipment. So either yes or no. If your answers are all yes, you may now go on with the assessment. If some of your answers are no, I am sad to say that you need to study the lesson again for you to take the assessment. And for our assessment is a short quiz. You're going to answer the following questions by choosing the correct answer and write your answer on the space provided. If you still have questions regarding our lesson for this day, you may message me in our School G. So that ends our discussion. Stay safe and God bless.